Frankenstein laboratories they have. Our friends in business and computer science desperately need computer labs, and again cannot have them because of the embargoed space. And journalism has been stuck in swing space, still labeled faculty meeting lounge on the key list since humanities construction started. And I'm losing track, of that 6 or 7 years I've been in swing space. And I did have a PowerPoint that I had thought we might be able to throw up on the screen if that's possible.
It is possible. I wish we would have known before. We would have set up for you, sir.
Okay, I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay.
You move faster. And it's the PPT, the swing space PPT. If you go to full screen. Okay. The name Rabbit Hole came from Ian Holmes in MAD, which is of course appropriate, Media, Arts, and Design. And he was appalled when he saw our space, and he said, "Oh, what a rabbit hole." And so let us take a look at the rabbit hole. Please, next slide. Oh, also our students are talking about a video called The Legend of the Kitchen Chronicle. Next, please. Okay, there is no privacy in the rabbit hole. I asked for walls, and Albert explained to me that under some rule the state has, I cannot have an office door. I can't even put in a cage. Nothing. No modifications can be made to the site. At least that's what I've been told for 6 years. And there's just no privacy to talk to a student. Often we'll go out and take a walk. Yes, that really is another exhaust above my desk. And one student walked in yesterday. I'd never seen a student go, "What a dump." It's an embarrassment to campus as far as I'm concerned. It may not embarrass some people. Please, next. There is no vaccine. There is no security, particularly. We've had about $6,000 worth of equipment stolen in the last year because we can't properly lock things up and keep people from entering the space. They walk in that back door there, but we're looking from the door. I'm sorry, there's the front door back to behind Gerard. They walk in and grab and run. And unless we're very vigilant about keeping the cabinet doors shut and locked, we lose things. We cannot use the big wooden doors, which I wanted replaced, because I was informed that they were a piece of art, and therefore I could not ask for a change even on the door to my space. And so this piece of art cannot be used, this is over in the studio, because if we leave it open, they run in and steal video cameras, as we're shooting in the studio. This is not appropriate space for teaching. There is no security for equipment. And we've come back to this year after year and been told, forget about it. Please, next. It's morale deadening. As I said, students said, "Man, what a dump." There's been other epithets. And yes, and you can see if you just walk in, there's the drawers for the equipment. Now, we can put them out in the other room, but it's even easier to steal them there. And we have to use that back door because, again, we cannot use the art doors because they really steal things. We had a laptop, a drive, and I don't know what, stolen in the course of about 5 minutes one day. Next, please. Everything is jury-rigged. Note the white hole down the side here on the left side. Albert put that in so we could have electricity to the center console. Underneath the cabinet on the side, of course, is the old sink and all you use to serve faculty meetings from. There's still a hot water heater. There's still a drain line under there. all we do is lift it up and we could have a party. But you see everything, it's crowded in, but this was swing space. We were supposed to be there 18 months max and gone. And on down the hallway to the old art gallery, which has 12-foot ceilings. And Nancy Burns said we would have to replace the studio, the TV studio that we had in Tech Ed 1. You all remember the old IT space with the adjoining studio. You do, because you trained your students in it. Theater trained their students in it. Today, MAD will train students in it. We have about 5 departments are denied adequate training for their students because Nancy Burns took away the studio, and no one in succeeding administrations has thought to keep her word and replace it. Next, please. Again, listed as faculty meeting room, not a classroom. I think somehow that's telling. And you can see it gets really crowded in there, and it's not organized like a decent lab would be, or a newsroom for that matter. Also, the wall to the right side is porous. It has no top on it, and all sound goes out into what is the studio. Next slide, please. And we need a 12-foot ceiling to teach television studio. Yes, television studio is a part of journalism. It's a part of our converged program. We have 2 classes, broadcast production and electronic media. And we, in the past, actually produced pilots, television pilots, in conjunction with Hollywood directors in that television studio we had in Tech Ed 1. And it was a very successful program. We cannot do anything like that now. I was asked today by an official, well, why can't you just go mobile? Well, we are mobile. We've been mobile for 6 years. We're not going to go mobile. We are mobile. We need to go into the studio. I have a student right now who wants to intern with Ellen. We have interned with Ellen before. We also have students who want to intern with Univision and Telemundo. We've interned with them before. But they have to have television studio skills. We had students walk into Washington State University on a tour. And someone grabbed them and said, don't you understand there's a show going on? And they drug him into the studio, put him on a camera, the show was completed, and they said, well, why haven't you been here before? That's the kind of training we gave. We were giving university-level training. We can't do that now because we're mobile. Okay, we need a 12-foot ceiling. We desperately need a 12-foot ceiling. I pointed out that there is room in the first floor of business that has a 12-foot ceiling. All we need to do is install our light grid and put our green screen at the far end, and we're in business. But, and next door is a nice glass windowed newsroom. And then to the other side is a computer lab in which we could teach reporting and writing in coordination with Mr. Wassenaar and the business department. They very much would like to see us move into that space, and we would have this joint computer lab. However, when that was proposed, Karen said, no, we're saving that for Science Math when Science Math swings when the bond is passed. Next slide, please. So what it is we're holding our students hostage in 3 departments at least, 4, 5 departments, waiting for Godot, waiting for a bond issue that is as mythical as a unicorn at this moment. I truly don't believe that with this situation, any voter is going to vote approval of a bond issue in which under Measure X, 34,000 extra square feet was created, and programs have went begging because they can't use the new space. When I explain this to people I know, they go, man, that's really bad. So I do not believe the bond issue is going to pass. Next slide, please. Anyway, we've been told, can't you make do? We've been making do for 7 years. It's time for us, for the Frankenstein labs, for computer science to stop having to make do and give us the resources we need. I believe once you give us the resources you need, I know it will clear the deal with the state, then which you expect to get another $250 million matching funds. But I don't think your bond will pass at all at this moment with the treatment that you've given departments on this campus. And so make right, be satisfied that once you've done right by all the departments, we're teaching to the best we can, we go for a $500 million bond like it's planned and forego the matching $250,000. We can no longer wait for Godot. We cannot, we don't want to have happen to these other departments what's already happened to music. We have one person left, 4 left. And I might note, these are young faculty members that left also, not old grouchy guys like me. And I know for a fact that our young faculty, tenured faculty, are shopping their resumes. We have a climate that needs to change, and it changes by reconstructing the departments that are really hurting, and then we can turn around to the public and say, we've done the best we can, we need more help. Next slide, please. We do at least use the kitchen as a joke. Next slide. Again, the reasons we can't move is that we can't afford the furniture for journalism. Guess what? We've never bought a stick of furniture in our lives in the journalism department in 19 years. We get everything out of the salvage yard because there's perfectly good furniture.
If I may, let me interrupt here. Instead of going and having you write the reasons here and the responses here, since we have these 3 administrators in the room, let's have this happen like in a dialogue.
Okay.
Was this the last slide?
No, there's one more slide.
Okay, show the last slide. Let's go and thank you, Rob.
Thank you, sir, for the show. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, instead of us going and just reading those on the screen, let's instead have a dialogue on these issues. And but I want to thank you for sharing your perspective. I think you did a really good job on that. Dr. Simpson, I don't know if you or Karen or how would like you all to start?
Like to begin, I'm going to talk in more general terms about where we are, and then Karen and Albert will go into more specific. And we did without process following all of it. We sacrificed, we tightened our belts, we looked where we could save money. We did that for a very good reason, and that was we're not going to lay off staff, we're not going to have people losing their positions. Extraordinary commitment to all the systems to do so, and that took sacrifice. We are now coming out of that period of sacrifice, and I think we can look across the college and see that many, many good things are happening, beginning with personnel, starting to fill in those positions, classified staff, or full-time faculty positions that we have done without. We have put ourselves in an extraordinary position because of the careful planning and the sacrifice that we made over time. And one of the things that we've done is put ourselves in a position to be able to benefit greatly if there is a local facilities bond and if there is a local capital project bond. We don't have to go after those. And even if we do, we can take ourselves out of the running. All we have to do is activate all of our inactive space. Do what we want to do today, and then we can sacrifice all of these plans for our institution. Will there be a bond? Well, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if there will be or not. That's going to be, I believe, for the voters to decide. Will there be a local bond on the ballot? We will know in August, because the board will have to decide in August. Do we go after a local facility bond? If we don't, we're in a different era, and we're going to have a different kind of conversation. Will there be a state capital project bond? We will know that by the end of June, I believe, the legislature those initiatives, or they fail to do so. So the answer to Robert's question, he doesn't believe there will be a bond. That's going to be answered in a very short period of time. I am not inclined, as president of the college, to take action today that has short-term expediency and long-term harm, unending long-term harm. Particularly so when some of the questions that need to be answered will be answered in short order. Given the period of time we've come through, doing without sacrificing, positioning ourselves, it would be, I think, a great disservice to take action that would move SEM out of the top priority that it is currently on the state capital project, to move the fine arts building off of its priorities, because those are two of the highest priority projects in the state's capital projects list. And if we activate space, if we engage in construction projects that require the vision of state architect approval, we damage our priority listing on the project. And that means the remodels don't happen unless we somehow locally, in the absence of a bond, can find a resource. I quite frankly don't see that happen. There is no program of this college that any member of my team will tell, we're not going to listen to what your concerns are and work with you to improve that program. Can we give you all that you want today? The answer to that may be no. Can we make substantial improvements? The answer to that is absolutely yes. And I say this to Robert, and I say this to every other member of this body. If you have needs in your program, you want to hear about them, and you are not going to hear, we don't care about them. Don't bother bringing that forward. We may not be able to give you the answer that you want in total, but between doing nothing and doing everything that we would like to have in the height of hypothetical ideals, I can promise you this college is going to be responsible for your needs. We are, after all, here to serve you. And when you in the classroom are telling us, I don't have what I need, that matters to us. And we are going to respond. Again, we may not be able to give you all that we need, but I say over and over again to my management staff, find ways to say yes. I make this commitment to Robert and to everyone of you. Again, we may not in the short run be able to do all that we want to do, but we can make improvements that I think will significantly address some of the concerns. What's the long-term answer? The long-term answer is what happened in humanity. Gut the fine arts building, rebuild it from ground up, including the facilities that Robert wants that would be state of the art. That doesn't happen if you do the short-term fix to that. Because that short-term fix, and all that Robert would like to see in the short run, degrades that priority down off of that list. And that is an action that I cannot undertake. With respect to more of the detail, I will let Sharon and Alan and others.
We have had one meeting already with the Dean of Finance and with Robert Mercer to hear uninterrupted from him what he hopes to have. And then we said we needed time, and so it's taken us till last week. Last week we got that quotes just on everything he asked for. To do everything in the current location is going to be $250,000. And it also kicks it into that category where it would go to DSA. So called our facilities consultant. I said,
DSA is what?
Department of State Architects. So any public education facility, when they're making a structural change above a certain dollar threshold, or where they think if it's not properly done, it's going to be a risk to staff or students in the facility, there's all levels of review from the architects. And it takes a long time to one. It could be with them 6 months before you hear back corrections that need to be made in a design. But what I learned was, by the way, it is inactive space, and we are allowed to call it inactive in the swing space where he's located, unless we're moving out of there somewhere else. Then it becomes active. We lose points towards the construction we want, which those points put us high on the list to qualify for funding. And the moment we do anything through DSA, is the red flag to them in terms of that building that's in the queue for capital outlay. So whether you think it's gonna ever be funded or not, at that moment, you're making the decision that you're no longer in the game. So we have a follow-up meeting scheduled with him next week with Joyce and Robert, and we can talk about the things that you can do. But it doesn't mean that everything's off the table. But some things, if we make that decision, we made a permanent decision for the space. And it really doesn't matter with the ceiling grid kinds of things, where you put them, it's a DSA project, and all we do that. So whether it's in that space, or business, or the gallery area, full gallery area he's interested in, that's the news that we have. But I wasn't hoping to present it in this venue, but we will be talking about it at the meeting we have next week. We didn't just put him in that space, we spent $30,000 or $40,000 making it what we thought was usable, meeting the needs for data and electrical. I'm sorry, Robert, if I'm remembering it incorrectly, but one vacation, because newsrooms have coffee and that kind of thing. So, one of his requests is to take that out. And that's something we can possibly do, is take that out of there. But, like I said, we still have a meeting special to see what the options are.
Thank you. Albert, is there anything you'd like to add to Governor?
Basically, just to jump on what Karen said, we didn't look at the whole facility as one project, and then we kind of separated pieces that Robert wanted and trying to get multiple quotes from things to see what would be doable. That's the process which we're trying to take, trying to find some sort of a happy medium where we can meet most of the needs that we can without implementing the project.
I have a word question. Let's imagine the bond issue passes, and we're gonna remodel SEM. And then we're gonna remodel Pioneer. When that happens, we're gonna go.
I don't remember what's for, but I do know that there's studio space and I believe it's shared. There are two other programs over there that like a studio. So truthfully, if we're gonna build a studio, we should be thinking about those other programs that are their needs also.
If Fine Arts is being remodeled, and he has to go in there.
You're talking
I don't
about.
think this is an insult.
Talking about swing
I don't think it's
space,
an insult. He has to go to swing space.
all these empty spaces.
That would be in business.
That would be
Well,
possible.
I don't know exactly where it
Okay.
is. This is what happened to us. We had a multi-year construction program, and then the state goes into its decline. They yanked an already funded program off the list. We already had swing space planned, and at that time, Fine Arts was going first. And SEM right behind it. The minute humanities moved in, we were moving people out. And it was intended that we would grow in our enrollment over the years of the other projects to the point where we could reactivate the space. We qualified based on the efficiency of the space you have. And the only growth space we qualify right now for is actually the LLRC learning resource. We could open spaces for that. Right now, we can't open classroom space without some negative consequence. But even now, we're doing HVAC projects in 3 buildings this summer. All of those functioning areas, you're not even thinking there's one of them, will be moving into the swing spaces in SEM, in fine arts, in a business building. So we couldn't be doing anything for journalism. That commitment's already been made. And if the project passed, right now, we're already planning for the bond pass swing space for SEM. They'll be up first this time. If it passed, we could be moving them out as early as next summer. Again, in all those swing spaces, and there's then not even enough space for them. We would have to go to buying or renting some modules and putting them probably east side of the gym where we have the last time. And then we could keep everything, move them back in, fine arts would be next. So there's even a hesitancy to invest a lot of money in these areas if we could end up taking them out.
I was just going to add that the typical process would be that we actually do like a program on the swing space at the same time we do a program in the facility. So basically we'll be having meetings with the faculty that is going to go into the new building, and as we plan the new building facility, we'll change them
time, we went through a bit of a dip in the economy. And so what we had planned to do, we simply ran out of funds to do. And so what Robert was told, this is temporary swing space. Had those things not happened, that fine arts building would have been that same construction. Then in the aftermath of that difficulty came the Great Recession, and everything now was on hold. And so the promises, I wasn't there at the time, but the promises that were made, that it would like to be in all good faith and all good conscience. But because none of us have crystal ball and tea leaves that we can read very accurately, Robert's very much a victim of circumstances. Those are very unfortunate circumstances. But, we are, I think, in a position now where we're going to have certainty in a very short period of time. And either the bonds are on the ballot and pass, or they don't. And either circumstance, we will be engaging in projects that previously, before that information was available, we simply can't even consider. So that this is not, just keep waiting for an indefinite period of time. We now have a finite period of time when we have a lot of information.
Questions that you have or comments you'd like to make? Chrissy?
I have a question about the bond. Did you get the bond, then SEM goes first, and then finance? So while SEM is happening, then the Journal and program is still stuck in the rabbit hole until SEM is done, and then finance, how what's the timing on that?
I'm just gonna say, if, even as soon as we know we're gonna put a bond on the ballot, we would start planning space for SEM. Even before, because the time is so quick, that we have to make decisions and move. They've been moving out in graduation in the spring. I don't know, 2-year program, construction, probably a little bit longer than humanities. So it could be done in 2 years. We can't move mid-semester, so we have to finish a little early. So 2 years from now, you're moving fine arts then into swing space.
So they have to, so they're looking at possibly 2 more years in that space. 3. Yes, 3, because we have to just,
I remember, we haven't had a meeting yet.
right, but I
This
was,
can't,
but see, that, keep in mind where you can't, you have to have that in mind. But you're just waiting for that.
Who else has a question or a comment they'd like to make? Yes?
I think one reason we call their midterm excursion, we're wondering if there's some way, if we couldn't do everything that I'm sure we would love to have, that we can do some things to help them, even if we're waiting for the bond. And could we do, for instance, and you're going to have meetings, I'm hoping for a list of things that are doable, and they're going to cost to those things. And then go through that.
I do right now, that's what we'll be reviewing next week.
So he may get at least a reasonable satisfaction while he's waiting for this to be.
I hope so.
I'm sure that at the end of that meeting, Robert's going to complete these out.
You're the president of the college, not the congressman. Other questions, comments? Yes, sir.
First of all, we were the forgotten department. In truth, we were absolutely forgotten on the move from humanities. I was standing there when someone had this oh my God moment where you didn't think about journalism. They went scurrying for space. They did not think about us. And finally wound up with the cafeteria and said, can you accept this? And I said, I can accept it. It's swing space. There's other people, yourselves, over in the gym, having a good time in cubicles. And so, yeah, I can take the pain. We're for language arts. We're tough. Okay. And the fact is we were absolutely forgotten, and there was not a compromise. It was, this is what we've got. How can we at least fix it halfway? We asked for the ceiling to be taken out then. 6 years ago, we could have had our 12-foot ceiling. But oh no, we were told someday we might want to use this for a conference room again. And yet then they turn right around and say, oh, we're going to have a bond issue and we're going to gut the building, so we don't want to fix it up either. It's always one thing or another But the bottom line is, we're not going to do anything for journalism. So we did a patch, we did put some pipes in the ceiling, and we're able to hang some lights across and get a semblance of video. In fact, if you go look at cycron.com today, there are damn fine videos there. So yes, we're making do very well. But I feel like I'm being taken advantage of because I'm very good at making do. And at some point, I'm due, not making do. I do not understand why, if that is black hole space in business, why we can't just swap straight across, square foot for square foot, and declare the cafeteria black hole space.
Stop there for a second. Would any three want to go and address?
What I learned was no matter where you hang the grid, we run through DSA. You're saying you're doing DSA on any of these programs right now, we're raising the red flag on funding for the college.
So the grid is the problem.
The grid is the problem because it requires DSA review. It's also pricey because you have to also deal with HVAC and fire alarm systems, and it's not just grid.
Anyone else have a question or a comment?
I do just, with Inactive, since you read the problem, but on the matter of space, does it matter if it's that particular room or a different room? It's designated?
Yeah, and here's the problem with that. I asked that question also. He's in an inactive space that we're allowed to call swing space. And it was designated as a free swing space because it was supposed to be the next building on. When I move in out of it, I can no longer call it swing space. I then have to activate the space in the inventory. So I know this is all crazy making. We don't make up these rules. Our goal is to get the funding to get the whole building done, and that's what we're working with. Because I asked that same question.
You can't inactivate it?
I can't move in into other inactive space and call it inactive. I have to activate it, which means I have to count that square footage where he's at right now, because I can still make the case, as long as it's been, I can still make the case that it's swing space, because that was intended to be there until the building.
Long-term construction project.
And then what, obviously that affects that equation, and then that lowers us down on that priority list. Okay, I get it.
Sad.
I'm sorry, it's just crazy.
Unfortunate.
So going on what Jesse was saying, so the plan is to talk to whoever about what would be doable for the next possible 3 years, but then when we find out.
5 years. 3 years for SEM, 3 years for
There's 1 year to get to the construction, 2 years for SEM, 2 years for, fine
Find
arts.
out the year we move
Yeah,
out.
he's gonna use someone else.
Yeah.
No, I remember that.
But it's so it's June, July,
I hope
we find out about the bond,
Well, no, in August,
August,
if we put local bond, the board will have to decide in August, if we put a local bond. At the end of summer, the legislature will have to put on a state ballot, state capital project bond. So at the end of summer, we will know the status of both of those bonds. We won't know if we're gonna have them enforced unless and until they're on the ballot in November and the voters.
is it only one bond that is affected by this, or is it both?
Because we only have about half the funding to the state. Talk about SEM, it's about a $40 million project, and we have to match it like 50-50.
Oh.
So 20 million, I'm using bird round numbers, 20 million local, 20 million state. If the state doesn't pass a bond, well, either way, we would get half the funding, and we'd have to then talk about, can this district afford to finance? Typically, we don't do that, but we know that building is waiting, and we know what those labs look like. So that if we hear that one or the other isn't happening,
the bond goes forward to what percent?
And no discussion, no.
Okay, what's the base for local bond? That's a half the rate, I understand.
You know, it's not been decided though, the board has to vote on that.
But that was proposed.
Well, they field tested 3 different levels, I think it's 250, 450, 700 million, something like that. I think that the scuttlebutt is that the board is probably more interested in the mid-level, but even at the highest level, the field poll that was conducted in November, we weren't significantly above the margin, but we were above the 55%, past the margin that's necessary. So it's encouraging. It will take a lot of work, but I'm encouraged to that.
So then I'd say half billion or 450 million. What percentage goes forward?
Well, the district doesn't break it out on an F per FPS basis. The
Well, you know what this project costs.
If I do, well, the last bond, Measure X bond, was about, I'm gonna say 60% of that went to the college. And that was because they had a number of projects that had been planned in the works, and we were part of behind that. The circumstances have been flipped, and my guess is, and this is just purely my guess, that if there is a local bond, that we will receive over 50% of that amount. Because that's the negative projects in the district that we have available now, so they're at the top of the list, ready for funding, grade next, a big ticket item project. So that, again, I'm guessing, but it will not just be an FPS split. We'll get our fair share.
I want to thank you so much for coming and speaking with us today.